Hi everybody, I'm Big D Senpai, part of the Anata NFT team, and today we're going to show you in this first session of the Anata Academy, we're going to show you how to download your files from Arweave with your NFT, and then we're going to show you how to import them into VTube Studio. Very, very exciting stuff. We're also going to cover how to set up expressions as well, okay? And in the next video after this, we'll go into this a little bit more at the end, but within the next couple days, the next video is going to be about how to use VTube Studio with OBS, streaming software. It's free to stream. And so you can stream anywhere with that. You can hijack your camera, and it's just like using a regular webcam to show yourself off. When you hijack your camera with OBS's virtual camera, it basically thinks that it's a webcam. So it's always going to show up on any video, your Google Meets or Discord or Zoom. Some stuff that right now hologram can't use, like Zoom, you can use with OBS and VTube Studio. Anyway, without any further ado, I am going to show you on the Anata website how I go and download the files for this specific Anata that I'm using right now from my wallet, and then we're going to get it loaded up. Let's do it. So the best place to get VTube Studio, this is super easy, is just to go on Steam, right? VTube Studio. And it's free. You see here there's a DLC to remove the watermark. It costs $15. If you don't do the remove watermark thing, it's no big deal really, unless you're like, doing a super professional Twitch stream or whatever. But it's got this little flying chibi anime character that flies around. So you see it's already in my library, but you would just click buy, and if you don't have a Steam account, it's really quick to sign up, really easy. And like I said, this is free with the watermark. See, you can go down here, and whenever you're ready to remove the watermark, they've got the DLC. So just go ahead and download it, and we'll show you where all of the folders go. So most of the time, when you're downloading games or applications from Steam, the file path for you is going to be, this PC, Windows, program files, x86, or wherever your Steam install is, and then Steam. So we're going to go to Steam Apps, Common. See all my games here. I have a ton of games. Please don't critique my gaming choices too much. But if we go down here, let me just pull this up. We are going to see VTube Studio. VTube Studio. Very cool. All right, put this here. Now we're going to go into VTube Studio Data and Streaming Assets. This is the important folder. This folder is one you're probably going to use a lot to change out backgrounds and live 2D models. So you can pin it over here on the side. I have a lot of pin stuff. I don't want to dox any of the projects that I'm working on for Anata, so I'm not going to show them to you. But yeah, you get the idea. We'll come back around to this later and show you what to actually do with these folders. But now let's go and download our VTuber files from the Anata NFT website. So the first thing that we have to do is go ahead and download our VTuber zip files. You can see on OpenSea here in my vault, I've got a few different Anatas. AnataNFT.com. Gonna hit enter. And I'm gonna go right up here to this box. And you would connect your wallet. I've already got mine connected. This is my hardware wallet, so I'm not gonna do the whole sign to connect thing, but you see how it works. You just go up to the box with the three lines up here, and then we're going to go to download. It's going to grab our models. And you see here, signed to verify ownership of Anata NFT 410, signed to verify ownership of Anata NFT 290, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and get the first one, 410. I'm going to sign it. Confirm this in my hardware wallet. And then after you've signed, it's going to change to click to download model for Anata NFT 410. Add there. And you can see down here in the bottom of the screen, it's downloaded my file. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, show in folder, and you're going to see the zip file in your downloads. And we are just going to click it, unzip it. Nice. Let's go ahead in there. You'll see a folder set 0745. Now, the number for set is going to be different than the actual set number on OpenSea. The reason for this is that we obviously we had numbers on our side when we were creating the Anatas, and we randomized them after the mint so that nobody would know which Anata was which, and nobody could snipe them or whatever unfairly. So as you can imagine, the numbers in the folders are going to be a little bit different than the numbers on OpenSea, but that's okay. We're going to go in. You see all of your files here. Let me give you a basic rundown of what the file structure looks like. This is all the physics and the model information in these After Effects files. I'm not really a tech guy, so I don't know 100% how those work, but the art team does, and that's what matters, right? This folder here has our expressions, or ahegao, or anger, all of that good stuff, right? And importantly, this folder here has the textures that make up an Anata. So all of these are just like PNGs that come together to make up your anime character. So we're going to drag this into VTube Studios folder. Give me 1 second. So here you can see the file structure of VTube Studio on your computer. So you've got backgrounds. This is where we put all of our neat backgrounds. You can put in whatever you want in here, any PNGs, even videos. See, I've got like videos here that I can use for video backgrounds. These are really cool. Like these a lot. All different sizes and things. We'll go into backgrounds a little bit more in a later video, and I can give you some tips on how to make really cool ones. But let's go back. Most of these folders you're not really going to mess with. The most important ones are the backgrounds folder I just showed you, and specifically also this Live 2D models folder. So I just clicked into the Live 2D models folder, and very simple. I'm just going to drag this folder that I downloaded over to the Live 2D's model folder. And there we go. It's in there, and that's all you've got to do to load your VTuber into VTube Studio. Super, super easy. So the next time that you start VTube Studio, and I'm going to show you that here in a second, you will just you'll have it automatically in there in your models. So as you can see here, I've just started up VTube Studio. It's got a background on it that I use quite a bit, this like sky background. Yours is probably just going to start the first time you open it with a very standard background. You can add your own backgrounds here afterwards. Very easy. So what we're going to do is run through all the buttons here so you have an idea of what everything does. So the first one right here, the little person button, I'm going to click that, and you will see, take a second to load. This is the Anata that I downloaded just a moment ago from the website. And if I go over here, next to that person button is the screenshot and selfie button. So you can set a timer. You can take it with a transparent background or with the background that you have. Real easy. Pretty cool. And if you ever want to get rid of this menu or bring it back up on VTube Studio, which is something you'll do a lot, you're just going to double click on the background to bring it up like this. Double clicking. And then to get rid of it, you're going to hit the X button right here. So we covered turning on your model, right? And if you have multiple models, multiple Anatas or other VTube Studio models, they'll all show here. Close that. This is the screenshot button. These are the backgrounds. I have a ton of them. So I can go ahead and change, for instance, to this one. Pretty cool, right? You can add items here on the star button next to it. If you want to get rid of them, just drag them. See? You can load your own items into the items folder also. If you want to put a bunch of items and save a scene, you hit the 3 stars button. I don't have any saved. I don't use generally a ton of items, but they are pretty cool if you're interested in that. This button here will lock your model. Okay. Well, this will lock your items. Well, now here's the important part. We are going to go ahead and turn on our camera. So I've hit the settings button. We'll have another video later. I don't want to confuse people. There are a lot of settings in VTube Studio. So let's not go into that quite yet. What we're going to do is just go over here. You can see you can choose different cameras, choose different levels of tracking quality, tracking type, face tracking, other stuff. Set a limit for your webcam FPS, all of that good stuff. Like I said, all of these settings too, we're going to go into those later on. They're a little bit more granular and complicated. So I just paused there to turn the lights on in my room. And now we're going to do the most important bit. We're going to turn the camera on. Takes a second. And would you look at that? So this is my face in real time. Look how handsome I am. And if you ever get out of whack, you can calibrate it. Just look at the camera or wherever on your screen that you're going to be looking most of the time. And see, I'm going to crank my head. And I calibrated. Now my head cranked over to the side is supposed to be, face forward. But anyway, I'm going to look at the camera, calibrate, dead on, perfect. And look at that. Now your Anata is totally tracking your face. It's breathing, moving, all of this good stuff. If you use a regular webcam, the only downside of using a regular webcam versus like an iPhone specifically, and I don't use an iPhone, iPhones have a little bit better tracking, just something to do with their like depth cameras or whatever. But if you use the iPhone, you could do stuff like stick your tongue out. Whereas for me, I have to use a emote to do that. I think it is this one. See? Cool. So we get the idea. I'll show you some other stuff in the settings. This bit could be important. So if you go down here, oops, wrong one. If you go down here, you can see you have all these hotkeys, and you're probably going to be setting up hotkeys, especially for your expressions. So here's the first expression, ahegao, the sexy face. It's set to tab. For me, it's set to tab and number 1. So, when you have 2 here, you have to hit them both at the same time. See, like that. I hit tab and the number key 1. But you can set whatever expressions that you can set buttons, key combinations, however you want to trigger however you like. And if you need to, you can actually set the screen button hotkeys too. If you don't want to use your keyboard, you can have screen buttons show up that will hotkey the expressions. So we have all of our expressions in here. I think automatically the way they load is tab and number 5 or 6 or whatever. So those are the big, most important basic things about VTube Studio. And we're going to have some more videos here soon showing you how to use OBS in combination with VTube Studio. VTube Studio has camera hijacking tools included in it, but I generally don't use them. More of like an OBS Chad myself, and I think most people are too. So within the next few days, I'd like to get up a video on how to use OBS and VTube Studio together. But at the very least, Now today, you have learned how to download VTube Studio, how to download your models, and then also how to import them and to use them in VTube Studio. Thanks so much for being here today, gang, and really looking forward to seeing you all use your Anatas in VTube Studio and Hologram and wherever you can, on Twitch, on Discord, all that fun stuff. So thanks again, and we'll see you guys next time.